want to explain that in preparation for this evolution that we're heading into, this is our next and probably last era of humanity, not because we will extinct ourselves, but because it's the last one we need. This
Mm.
is our, big up leveling with a raised consciousness and living in peace and harmony and balance with the earth. And so divinity expanded the frequencies available to humans exponentially a couple of years ago. And so our frequencies, every single one of us, our frequencies want to rise, but for most people, they're not because they have trapped emotions. The less pleasant emotions that everyone's experiencing and are so prevalent on the planet now, like fear or anger, grief, all of the heavy, dense emotions, when we feel those, they very frequently can become stuck either in our bodies or our auric layer, and it will hold down your frequency, keep it from rising. We want to intentionally work on checking in on where our frequency is, make sure it's rising, because as your frequency rises, you can experience more of those more pleasant emotions that resonate at the higher frequencies. When you get the highest ascension point that most people on the planet right now have available to them is 500 million bioenergy units. And yet the average currently of humans, and this will get better, there's a lot of energy work going on through divinity that will help with this. But the average frequency right now of humans is 500. So there's a big gap there. But as you move up the scale, 500 million is the frequency of joy. And, how pleasant will life be when you're in resonance with joy or one of those other joyful emotions, happiness, even contentment would be better than that, at 500, where a lot of people are or lower. You can experience those happier emotions more often and hang on to them for longer periods. The other benefit as you raise your frequency is that divinity operates at a much higher frequency. And so it becomes easier to connect and receive that channeled information when we raise our frequency. And then as we connect with divinity and raise our frequency, they will help us raise our consciousness, which is the ultimate goal. So everyone can live in love and compassion, and we can jointly work together to create this better world.
So you've mentioned a few times uh, referring to they in the third person. Where do you think this information is coming from, or how would you describe this source of information? Who are they that are looking out for it?
Oh, I use the term they just because it's non-gender specific. It's from God, um, you know, or whatever you want to call divinity. I just use they because it they are not male or female. We tend to personify God. We put human gender and other things on God, or if you look at the Old Testament, there was vengeance and anger and, worship me. And that's God, that's a human thing. That's an egocentric thing.
Mm.
That's not God.
So what do you think God is then?
God is love and light and energy. God is the energy in all things. God is the creator of all things. And, God is available to all of us through our higher consciousness so that we can know, that close relationship with divinity and live our most fulfilled life, really. Like our divine aspect or higher self is there, or inner wisdom. I have a lot of words I use. It's there to help us live our most fulfilled life, living our purpose.
Hmm. So to be inspired, to have hope, this is kind of like trying to be in the God consciousness, I guess, God doesn't do it for us, but God, coaches us, gives us information, and what do you think about that?
Well, yes, and the entire cosmos was created through this universal divine law called the law of creation. And one of the elements, one of the precepts that has to be there is aligned action taking. We can't create anything new, whether we're working in here in the 3D or in the 5D. Nothing new is created without aligned action taking. And because we're here in the 3D, if we want a better world, we have to take action. But knowing the actions to take will be through following guidance from our divinity.
So as you develop your own abilities, which you've been doing quite well for some time now, you're a spiritual teacher. Tell us a little bit about what you do as a spiritual teacher, or for that matter, as we get near the close of the show, what a business strategist you are using, I guess, your intuition.
So the primary area I focus on is, through the nonprofit I mentioned, because it's not, these, they're not gifts, but these spiritual skills are, not, it's coming through me, and I'm meant to help raise human consciousness. So I do a lot of teaching and coaching and um, sharing of information to help people raise their frequency and raise their consciousness. Through these books, I'm hoping as more people come into that community, and I have a free Facebook community as well. I hope to help bring people together as leaders and just kind of help them mastermind and not just take the knowledge from the book that I've shared or the inspiration or the hope, but put it in action. It all has to go into action, and it's easier if you have accountability partners or masterminds. It's easier to know where to start if you have a partner to talk it out with. And I don't make money from any of that, but I want to get traction in this global movement of conscious leaders and action takers who are going to do what's right for humanity and the planet, and get us sooner rather than later into that golden era. That's the goal.
The book is called Hope for a New Era. The author is Cynthia Rivard, and the website is her name, cynthiarivard.com. She is a spiritual teacher, a business strategist, and an environmental advocate. It's been a pleasure having you on the show today. I wish you much success with your endeavor to bring hope into the world.
Oh, thank you so much, Douglas. It's been lovely meeting you and getting to speak with your audience. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. Hey, everybody. Thank you for being with us today on the Soul Report. If this conversation stirred something within you, inspired a thought, or made you feel good, then our mission is already fulfilled. But there is so much more for you to explore, so many voices to hear and stories to uncover that can bring light your way on your soul's journey. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to help us. Subscribe to the Soul Report on YouTube, Shopify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening in. Click that notification bell or follow that follow button so that you'll never miss a moment of insight, healing, and transformation. We also invite you to leave a comment, share your thoughts, or tag a friend who would be uplifted by these powerful conversations. Your voice matters. and your support helps us to grow this global soul family, one heart at a time. Until next time, I'm your host, Douglas James Cottrell, and we'll be right here to see you next time on the Soul Report. God bless, peace, and prosperity to you.